Okay, let's quickly come to our worksheet now. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen. Can you? Good. Okay. Hope it's the correct screen that you're seeing. Okay, let me see. I'm just going to open this up. Looking at your answers now, some of you didn't do your work. Some of you did it very late. For example, just now I was asking Adam. Adam said that he did it, but I didn't see his answer because it's not exported. Okay, and then I checked way earlier today just to see that everybody has submitted. Okay, the Adam did his work, but he only did it like close to 7 o'clock you completed, right, Adam? If I'm not wrong, I could see your submission time. Yeah. Okay. Evan, yes, Evan, I can see yours. Okay, some of yours I really cannot see and I had to actually copy over. Now, can see my slides, right? Okay, so house rules, once a while we have to go through this, right? So compulsory for you to turn on the video, mute your microphone, rename yourself, make sure you have the right name. Okay, use the chat function if you would like to do any of the following, like if you want to ask a question, answer a question, share feedback. Okay, I want you to be very responsive. Your exam is coming. Whenever we are going through any questions, I want you to type in your thoughts. I want you to type in your responses so I know how much progress you have made, etc. Okay, if you don't respond to me, you don't interact with me, it's very difficult for me to help you. Okay, then if you need to go to the washroom, please just go. Drop a message in the chat, and then at least if I don't see your face, then I quickly refer to the chat. I know that you have gone to the washroom. Okay, if you can turn on your camera, it'll be best. If you cannot, because your camera is spoiled, do try to get it fixed. Okay, try to get it fixed. Yeah, because it's one of the regulations, because we want to know who is the one attending. All right, maybe you log on, then you didn't. Yeah, correct. But we have students who log on, then in the end, is the teddy bear sitting in front. Yeah, then they go and play games without the parents' knowledge. That's not very nice, right? Tanishka is laughing. It's true. Some of you actually, sometimes you're so tempted to play games, then you will just log in, then you don't pay attention. So don't do that. Yeah, your younger brother tried that before, that. Okay, thank you for sharing. Okay, it's not very nice, So we want to make sure all our students are listening in. Okay, so we want you to turn on the camera. Now, be mindful, okay? Be respectful to your teachers, be respectful to your classmates, okay? So teachers, not just me, all other lessons that you're attending for 88 Tuition. Okay, so let's go on. Now, this worksheet is specially requested by all of you, right? Yes, there are lesser questions this time round, but I really want to work on how you answer the questions. Okay, it's not about quickly touch and go. It's about in-depth understanding of how to answer. Yeah, short but tricky. Is that right? Okay, good. Now, heat. Let's go through very quickly what we have learned about this topic. Yeah, so no, cannot be just MCQ. In fact, I didn't give you any MCQ, right? Aren't you happy that I didn't give you MCQ? Okay, hold on, let me change the light. Cannot, this light is too bright also. I think like that can. All right, so come back to this. Now, what is this thing about heat? You have all the pointers here. I have some notes for this topic. I have some notes for the topic on light. I also have some notes on the topic of water. Okay, but then as we move along, I'll be providing you with more notes. Okay, maybe you'll need to have some more of these to help you revise for your exam. So object that produces heat energy will be our source of heat. Okay, or you call it the heat source. Now, the sun is our main source of heat. Okay, must know all these. If any of these pointers you are not sure or you don't know, then you better know today. And don't bother copying down. Like I said before, listen first, pay attention. You can actually retrieve our slides in the portal after the lesson. You all know this. Okay, our sense of touch is not an accurate measurement of temperature. Okay, we use scientific instruments such as thermometers, heat sensor, connected to data loggers to measure temperature in Celsius, degrees Celsius. Let me ask you one thing. Why is it important to use scientific instruments? Why? Type in the chat. Why is it that scientific instrument is so important? Okay, the previous statement says our sense of touch not so accurate, isn't it? Okay, what will scientific instrument do? Right, give us a very accurate kind of measurement, very accurate information. You can repeat many times as well. Okay, have you all heard of data loggers? Have you used data loggers before? You have, wonderful. Good. So when you use data loggers, have you noticed that those of you who haven't, no worries, you will definitely get your chance. In secondary school, you'll be using a lot of them. Right. So data loggers are very useful. They can help us to measure intensity of light, help us in measure even temperature and so on. Even sound, how loud or how soft sound is. So all these can be done. And the most amazing part after taking the measurement is, okay, data loggers can help you to plot graph. You know what I mean? So you can see the graph very easily. So the use of data loggers is very common now. Okay, in the past, it is something many, many years ago. I still remember when they first started introducing data loggers to the school. So I was going through a training session, just to learn how it's being used, how to conduct lessons using that. Okay, and then data loggers was something very expensive. And in the past, it wasn't that accurate. Nowadays, data loggers are very, very affordable. Okay, in fact, if you want to buy one for your own use, you can buy it easily. In the past, it's going to cost you 4-digit figure, okay, for one set. Okay, so it's more than $1,000. Nowadays, no. You can get a very simple data logger for a very affordable price. Okay, now, heat flows from a hotter region to a cooler region until they reach the same temperature. Are y'all okay with this? Okay, what is important is every time we talk about heat flow, we forgot to mention the part where, the two regions, right, are at the same temperature, then heat doesn't flow anymore. This is the part that we always, always, always forget. So I want y'all to remember from now on, right? Heat is always flowing from a hotter place to a cooler place, but it stops when the temperature is the same for the two places. Okay, take note, heat also travels in all directions. Now, when you go to secondary school, you probably heard of, good conductors of heat, poor conductors of heat, right? When you go to secondary school, you are going to learn about a few types of heat transfer. Okay, one is known as conduction. Okay, the other one is known as convection. And also the last one, radiation. So these three methods, okay, or process will be taught to you when you learn heat transfer in secondary school. So you are going to revisit the topic again in Sec 1 and you have to learn all this. Yes, correct. Yeah, don't be surprised, Evan. It's going to be fun for you. Don't think that it's going to be difficult. Okay, now, next one. Okay, we talk about the different states of matter, right? Solid, liquid, and gas. Now, they expand when heated. They contract when cooled. So you got to know this. I think this year PSLE, one question came out on the expansion contraction. Okay, so expansion and contraction, you learn about it. Remember? Tell me one example of a problem of expansion contraction in our daily life. One problem in our daily life. We have learned this in P4, I believe. Yes, Gordon, you remember. Yes, I like that. So Gordon actually shared the tiles that's used for the flooring needs gaps between them, right? Yeah, even the home. Do you see that your tiles at home on the floor, there are gaps between them? There are tiny gaps, and then it's being filled with some material, isn't it? So they actually do allow for expansion contraction. What is the reason for not putting them just side by side, very tightly? Correct. Yeah, they will start to crack. Yes, very good. So because in hot days, all the tiles also expand. So when each tile expands, then you have all of them just side by side. They need a lot of space. So if they cannot have the space to expand, they will eventually crack. Yeah. And then the MRT tracks as well, LRT tracks as well, they need a lot of gaps, right? For expansion. Very good. Well done. All of you remember this. Now, things can just be tested. Or shall I say, they test you a lot on daily life. Okay, very soon you'll be able to see what is tested for this year's PSLE. You know that they will start printing the PSLE booklets, right? Next year, everybody must buy one copy. Yeah. Okay, I will also be referring to some questions there, and I will bring in many of the PSLE questions from the past, and I'll show you. So by topic, I can show you, maybe let's say it's heat, right? So 2023, what exam question came out? 2022, 2021, 2020, etc., etc. Do you think you want that from me? So time and again, we'll do some practices on PSLE questions to get you ready for your big time. On heating, their molecules or particles gain energy. Wow. Hanin, if you are using molecules and particles, it is actually really in the molecular level, atomic level, which you don't learn yet, right? Okay, you don't need to answer in that sense. You don't need to use that in your answer for PSLE, but this is good understanding. I'm very sure you Googled this answer, right? Yes or no? Yeah. Googling is good, but make sure you understand what it's trying to tell you. Very good effort. Okay, thank you. Okay, great. So I have comments saying that you want to have PSLE questions being brought into our tutorials. Of course, I'll do that. Okay, so next year, the structure will be a few weeks of teaching. Then we touch on maybe some revision questions by topics. Yeah, so it'll be good. So rather than every week, just 7 MCQ and 3 open-ended, we will go into topical revision as well. And we look at past year questions. Is it okay? Thank you very much. So metal change in state when it gains or loses heat. Must know when the metal actually gained heat and what that resulted in. For example, solid gain heat, right? Okay, and then it will melt to form liquid. Then the opposite can also happen, isn't it? When liquid goes back to the solid state, there's a heat loss involved. Okay, heat loss involved, and then liquid turn to solid by freezing. So if I look at the other side here, liquid gains heat, okay, and then it will boil to become a gas. Gas can also turn back into the liquid state by losing heat. So we call that condensation. So if I want to write down the processes, okay, I can say that this is known as melting. Okay, and then this is boiling. Now, this is actually freezing. And then this is condensation. So you'll get all these notes in the portal. No worries. Yeah. So materials that allow heat to flow through them easily are called good conductors of heat. Materials that do not allow heat to flow through them easily are called poor conductors of heat. Recall what your teacher and Miss Tay told you about the word not to be used. The word not to be used here. Okay, if you write down another word instead of poor conductor of heat, okay, if you write down these insulators, this will be marked wrong. Clear? Always take note, you cannot write down insulators of heat because there's no such thing as insulator of heat. Okay, poor conductors only.